Well, hello, all you beautiful people out there in small engine world. Welcome to the Chickanic first annual October Halloween soiree. Uh-huh.
Can everybody hear us? Hold on.
Is anybody out there?
Hold on. They might be seeing an ad first. All right. We're on.
All right, everybody. How is everyone on this wonderful Halloween pre-All Saints Day?
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good Halloween.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, Pat. You're on. Thank you. Where's all the blood? Oh, well, that was a little messy, so.
That's 5 Halloweens ago.
Elvis and Conan, yeah.
Valeria.
So
what's up, everybody? Let's see who's here. Go ahead.
All right. Get my specs on because I can't see nothing. Let's say hi to everybody first. Everybody that's hanging out, partying for our Halloween party.
Happy Halloween.
Look what we got.
That's right, effects that are special.
Effects that are special. All right. So Henry Morowski, we got Henry in the house. Thank you for coming in. Brett Frazzy, thanks for coming back. John, my buddy. Yes, I said that word for you in the last video, and no, I don't care what you said, but I hope you got something out of the video, even if it wasn't, repair advice. Hello, everybody.
That doesn't make the king very happy.
Roger McDonald, Grass Cutter Palmer, William, thank you for coming back in, always helping us out. Catch a Cow. Let's see who else we got here. Haney-Oki, that's my bud. Shops Bearded, thanks for coming back. Okay, let me go back down here.
Pat, the sound guy.
Pat's our new buddy. Thank you for coming back in, Pat. One day we're all going to do a show together, and Pat's going to be our sound guy. One day. Catch a Cow, there you are. TC, Larry Keener, Daniel, don't let me destroy this. Palachowski, how you doing? Let's see, Tim Turner, Dr. Falcon 4102. Elvis forgot to shave, yeah. Must be all the drugs.
It increases the power of the cane.
David Gunter, thanks for coming back. Andrew Becker. Ramiro Masqueda, Trick or Treat, yep. Jason Summers, Alan Jordan, Country of Texas. Oh yeah, you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Gartho, hello, and Tom Hartrampt, Rick Mowers, Jason Summers. Yeah, we got everybody up in here. Sean Landers, thank you for liking the videos. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just winging it. So what's everybody drinking tonight? I am drinking Optimator. I like dark beer. Ellis would say, thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, you beautiful people.
So I told you one of us would be showing cleavage. A lot of cleavage.
You'll have to forgive them. They just settle down, boys.
What's up,
They just do that.
Mower Medic, you just came in at a great time. Ron's showing it off. Black tea before bedtime. Oh, how's everybody's week going? We're slowing down at the shop, which is good. We're happy about that. And we take off every, extra holiday we can think of. We took off Indigenous People Day, Columbus Day, just because. We'll take off Kwanzaa. We'll take off
Hanukkah.
We're
going to celebrate with everyone.
We'll celebrate with everyone.
We'll celebrate with anyone.
That's what's nice about having your own shop. You can just close down. So, old man Fred, how you doing? Okay, so everybody's saying hi here. All right, so I do want to start off. I've had some mail over the last couple of months, and I have not put it in my videos because it just didn't seem like the right time. I'm waiting. We're building a shop, and I don't have my toolbox set up here at the house, and I don't want to put it up at my shop because I'd like it to be at home where it's not going to get so messed up. But a lot of people have sent me mail, have sent me stickers and t-shirts, and I would like to say thank you to everybody right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So,
and first on that list of special thanks.
Yes. So when you start doing these videos, it's pretty cool because you become like this community of lawnmower repair peeps, and it's sort of awesome because everybody meets up every week and we get to chat and keep up with each other, and so you start to really become friends with all these people, strangers from all over the world, which is awesome. And so you want to send people things that you're friends with, and I got these first ones from my buddy Henry. He's up in the chat now. All these people have their own YouTube channels, and every single one of them put out great content that you need to go check out. So Henry, I'm going to keep messing your name up. Murkowski. Is it? No, it's Morawski.
Morawski?
He's going to have to tell me because I've been avoiding saying it so I don't butcher it. But
it is Morawski.
It's Morawski. So anyways, he has Big Dog Dad Lawn Enforcer. So go check his YouTube channel out. He's great. We call him Gramps because he's like all of our grandpa. The one that, we still have around. So also Eliminator Performance. They put out great content. There's a son and a dad that does it, and the dad, he's the one that I talk to the most, and he's awesome. But he sent me these stickers from am I upside down? Eliminator Performance. They put out excellent content. You need to go check them out. I've already done in a video, but I will do again because he's straight up one of my favorite people. But Mix Mowers, he sent pins. Let's say Mix Mowers on them. Pins and keychains and bottle opener and stickers. And so, yeah, we totally wrecked up, and, it takes a lot to get stuff all the way across the world from the UK. So that was pretty awesome. And last but not least, my buddy, the last one I had on my live stream as my guest, the legend himself, the Mower Medic, sent me and Ron t-shirts.
The King got a t-shirt.
Yes. And he also sent stickers. He's got out these stickers, the Mower Medic, and he just has a video on everything. If you need to know anything about anything, you go check out the Mower Medic. So thank you all so much for sending me that stuff. I am terrible about getting things out. So everybody that I owe shirts to at the moment, Terry Holloway, I owe him a bunch because, he won something a long time ago, and I've totally just had it sitting in my car. So I had not gotten to the post office to send it to him. So this week, I promise, I am sending Terry Holloway his stuff. William has been so helpful moderating that I really want to send him something. So he's getting something this week. And then John Clem, I know that you want to get one for your daughter, so I'm going to send yours this week. Also, just letting everybody know. And then stick around because I'm going to have a winner. We're going to do a little Chickanic trivia for all you hardcore video watchers.
Chickanic trivia, yeah!
And whoever wins is going to win their own Chickanic t-shirt. So
that's a very special thing because the King does not even have a Chickanic t-shirt.
You don't. God, you don't. All right, so let's see. What's everybody doing in here? I'm missing all the comments. Yes, hit that like button. Thank you for reminding people. Yeah, sorry, John. I'm terrible. I'm just so bad about sending things. I just need to get off my butt and get to the post office. But This is not what I expected from the thumbnail. Yeah, for me to have more clothes on than him. I know, right? Right? So, oh, anyways, what's everybody been doing this week? We have been cleaning, and what does cleaning mean? Cleaning means that you're going to finally get a little bit of a shop, tour. So why do I have to wait until things are clean? Because somebody is really messy. See,
I don't know what to say about that.
everything I work on, every tool I get out, I put everything away after each unit, and I pull whatever out I need on the next unit. He leaves everything where it lies and has to go hunting and searching every time he needs anything. So that's just the way it rolls at the shop. Oh, yes. Thanks, William. So how big is our shop? Tell them about the shop. When do you think that building was built?
Probably back in
40?
probably I'd say late 50s, early 60s, something like
Maybe, yeah. The building was a house at one time, and it's old. But what was really neat about the shop that we got is that it was started in 1980, I think, in the early 80s. This particular lawnmower repair shop was started, and it just trucked along until 2008 when the economy went to boot.
Yeah.
So it had bought up other shops nonstop for that many years, and so it has so many old parts. Whenever we bought it, or whenever we took over in 2011.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've been doing it for 10 years. We got the most coolest stock of old McCullough parts, old Tecumseh parts, snapper parts, a lot of old snapper parts. So it was really neat to be able to acquire all that stuff, and we are the place to go to whenever you need that weird oddball part that nobody else has. So the building is a little scary looking because it is old, and
it's a converted house.
And it
wasn't
went from a
originally
house to a shop,
converted house,
which they built onto, and the parts room is built onto. Our parts room is quite large. It's probably, what do you think?
It's probably 750 square feet.
Yeah,
in there.
We have lots and lots of parts.
So Mower Medic, what's up, dude? Says, what's with Echo not sending part? You're a lot closer to them than we are.
I know. Can't you drive over there and be like, knock, knock, I need some stuff?
But they don't have anything.
No, they don't.
So
I made a video this week, and I didn't want to scare people because I don't like to do that. I don't want to be like, it's the end of the world. But here's what I'm saying. I'm saying I haven't had any PB770s in over 3 months. Mower Medic was doing a video on a crankshaft for a PB770 and sent me a message asking if it was true that you can't get crankshafts for them right now. And I looked up the part. They're not in stock. There's carburetors for some of the big commercial units that I'm having to wait on forever. There's I don't have any blowers right now at all. They're even out of the handheld PB 2520 $150 blowers that they sell. How could you run out of that? But what is the reason, and what I said in the video this week in my little shorts, and we're going to talk about shorts here in a minute, is that if you Google search China shuts down magnesium factory, and you said there are none in America?
Well, I mean, magnesium is an alloy to the aluminum that they use. Aluminum comes from bauxite.
Mm-hmm.
And no, in Arkansas, and I believe there's one or two. There might be one or two. I can't remember anymore. But our big ones here in Arkansas have closed down. There were several aluminum alloyers in Arkansas, and over about since 2008, most of them closed down. I'm not sure if there's any left here. There might be, though. I mean, there's probably smaller ones, but I'm uncertain.
So China has been slowly shutting down all of their magnesium factories, which the U.S. has relied on heavily because magnesium is what hardens aluminum to actually use in all of these units. So if we don't have hardened aluminum to make our short blocks and our carburetors and our cylinders and all that.
And let's face it, most of them are made there.
And yeah, most of them are made there. So they don't have any, nothing to make these products with. So and before this, the shortage was plastic. There was a shortage on whatever made plastic orange, and the colors and the type of plastic. Like the last batch of oil I got in, it all had white caps instead of orange caps. Like they couldn't get orange plastic caps for the plastic bar oil bottles. It's very odd. So yeah, I'm not trying to scare you. What I am saying is that you should be scared.
Mark Kinney wants to know where my Les Pauls are. They're upstairs in the jam room. I have 3.
Yeah, I thought there was 4.
There are 4.
And then so now he's like, oh yeah, there's
Pauls.
4.
Yeah.
There's 4 up there. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. That 4th one's just out right now.
Is that Elvis or Billy Gibbons?
It's a blend of both. Born in Mississippi, my heart's in Texas.
Okay, Paul Sellinger. What type of mixed fuel would you recommend for the 90-10? Definitely use, ethanol-free fuel with Red Armor. If you can, with Red Armor oil. That's like the best oil to me. So. And
keep water out of your gas.
Yeah.
Let's talk about gas for a second. Let's kind of dive into fuel. I spent a little bit at refineries around here, including the Exxon down in Baton Rouge, and I got a pretty good idea of how petroleum is fractioned into the different levels of fuels that it has. And one of the things that I know this is real geekish stuff and it's not really that fun, but one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is that ethanol is a post-blend additive. In other words, everything's blended into the gas and then they dump ethanol in it. It's not an exact science. They kind of drive the truck under there, pull a switch, and it dumps ethanol into the tank, and it's mixed going down the road, the way a lot of petroleums are. But everything else that can go wrong with water in your fuel is already in the fuel before they add ethanol. And one of the primary problems with fuel these days, it doesn't matter if it's ethanol free or ethanol gasoline, it's going to have a detergent in it. And when they say detergent, they mean it. They're not kidding around. It is soap. And soap can adhere to water. And when it does, it works just like soap. It becomes soap. And if you ever take a carburetor apart and you see all this kind of weird gelatin down in your bowl, that isn't ethanol. That's the detergents adhering to the water and gelatinizing inside. And of course, what we know about soap is it's very basic. And anything that's very basic is going to be corrosive and it can eat up your carburetor. So be careful with the water.
Yeah. Hey, Ken. I see Ken popped in. How you doing
What's up,
tonight?
Ken?
Ray McCarty, how you doing? He's got a question. Hold on. Go right back up here to a little bit higher. Right there. You're on it. Is it possible or even worth it to fix a Husqvarna plastic transmission on a rider?
That kind of depends on if it's just the belts. Yeah. If it's.
Have you ever broke into one?
Have I?
We don't go into transmissions usually, but.
No, there's no reason to get into one.
I heard they had plastic gears.
And a lot of them do have plastic gears. Even the hydrostatics will have plastic drive gears. Cars have plastic gears.
And from my understanding is you don't have to worry about the transmission grease that comes out when the seal falls out, because it really is only in there to quiet down the plastic gears.
Yeah, that is in essence, but it is in there to lubricate.
Well, yeah, still, but not like it's not.
But if the seals are coming out,
it doesn't make a difference, like pressure wise or whatever.
Yeah, those old RS 800s, the sealed transmissions. The new ones are sealless. The older ones, if the seals start coming out, there's nothing you can do to keep them in there. They're just going to continue to come out. And as much as it might not seem like a problem to get the transaxle grease out of there, as long as the seals aren't in there, it can pick up junk and put it in there. So if the seals are coming out, I'm honestly, I'd just go for something different. I mean, you can order the new one, or you can just, deal with pushing the seals in.
I made a video on it, and everybody's like, well, it's just going to fall right back out if you don't do something. And exactly, it is going to fall right back out. And the one I did a video on was like the only reason we worked on it, because we don't work on them anymore, it was our pharmacist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I pushed it back in the video, I'm like, oh my God, everybody's going to say something about how easy that seal went back in. But I hope that you figure out your own way. A lot of people had a lot of good suggestions on how to keep a seal in for a period of time. So just, it's going to break again, but, to keep it in longer, there are ways, but I'm not going to show you I'm not going to make videos on how to rig stuff. So that ain't my forte. So.
But usually it's just the belts on those. If it's broken internally, no, it's not worth fixing it. You can actually acquire those RS800s, for like $350 on Amazon. So if you just want to replace it with the exact one, the 400 is a sealless transmission. It seems to work a little bit better, but it still has the same drive system, which is kind of janky, but hey.
Billy Bob, thank you for saying we look good. We don't go out. It was so funny. Tell them what time did we go to bed last night? 7.
We had to fight to stay awake. We ate and watched a show, and it was dark, and we climbed in. It wasn't 7. It was more like 8:45 or something like that, wasn't it? Or was it 7?
It was
may have been
7 when we laid down.
And
we're like, wait a minute, we can't go to bed yet.
Get it now, so we had to click the TV on, turn on a movie, and stay up for another 2.5 hours. Don't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
This sun's setting so early.
It's getting old.
Yeah. I don't do this winter stuff. This ain't my thing. All right. Pat, the sound guy. Oop. Let's go up to Brett's comment. Let's see what he has to say. Brett, what's your opinion on the Oregon 520-120 chain grinder, and is it worth investing in CBN wheel? Wheels for it. Had a customer bring in 26 chains, all 3/8 full chisel, and it really did a number on my wheels. We have, oh gosh, I don't even know what model it is. It's one of the Oregon ones.
Yeah, I'm not certain. It was there when we took the shop over.
When we bought the shop, it was there. And
you're offhand, I don't know.
We buy diamond. We buy wheels from the Diamond Wheel store with the same. Don't make me think of it now.
But yeah, we use diamond wheels, which, by the way, are a lot more expensive.
They are very expensive.
If during lean, if it's, you're not doing a bunch, it'll last an entire year. But even under heavy use, you can usually get at least half a year out of them.
But we sharpen it every day.
Yeah.
So it's at least, I don't know, how many chains do we sharpen? Probably.
Well, it depends on it depends on who's out there cutting in the area. And
even in the slow season, we at least do a couple to 3 a day. And during the heavy seasons, we're doing,
we're doing 8 to 10 a day at least.
Yeah.
But then, like forestry will bring in, 45 chains.
Yeah, and then we'll do a ton. But daily, we at least do, during this time of year, at least like 10 a day.
One of the cutters will bring in, 10, 15 chains plus what the residential people are bringing in. So.
And we get $10 a chain to sharpen. Yeah. And if you bring it in on the chainsaw, we sharpen your chain, dress your bar, clean your chainsaw, clean your air filter, and check your chain adjuster for $15. That's the deal.
160 people on.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good Halloween. It sucks not being a kid and being able to get all the candy. It's okay though, because
Yeah, our kids are too old now for
Yeah.
trick or treating, and it's.
Now we just have to pay for it.
I don't know what happened.
And we live in the middle of the woods, so we don't have any kids coming to the door to get any candy. So it's pretty much just buy what we want to eat.
So,
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
What are you looking at?
I was just reading to see what's going on with everybody.
I know.
Everybody's kind of quiet tonight.
Yeah. I can't see. Turned into a beast. Thanks, Mower Medic. Oh, how do I do this? So, shorts. Let's talk shorts videos. I want to, while you can look for a question while I'll talk about that. So if you see all of us putting out these short videos, they're like, have to be 60 seconds or less. Just give it a go. Go ahead and click on it. We have no idea why YouTube is pushing all of us YouTube creators to make these shorts. So I guess they're going to give us money. I don't know. Donnie Boy is making a bunch. I know Mower Medic's making a bunch. So I was like, what's all these guys doing? I guess I got to make some too. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's they're just like, make shorts. They're trying to compete with TikTok, I think. And to where you could just keep swiping and keep swiping. So I never even knew what a short was. And I guess it's been around for a while. And I hit first I had to update my phone. And then I hit the shorts button and started watching them. And they're sort of addicting. Yeah, when you can, get instant gratification in 60 seconds. So kind of really like my hair dryer.
Yeah, when you don't have to commit yourself to anything, because, in 45 seconds after you start, it's going to be over. You can just move on with your life.
Yeah. Pat the Sound Guy, I love shorts. I've made a couple so far and they do well. They do well, but I don't know. It's sort of weird. It's not like it doesn't count towards your YouTube, pushing algorithm. Bree, does that hat double as a mug? No. Well, actually, the whole thing is plastic. It probably could be used as a mighty, beer stein. I'd look really cool at the party, wouldn't I?
Mower Medic is banned on TikTok. I've never been on TikTok. I have absolutely no. I guess YouTube Shorts is something close to it, but
I've seen YouTube videos of compilations of TikTok videos, but I've never been on TikTok.
Yeah.
So why are you banned on TikTok? Who would ban you? What'd you do? Oh, watching baseball and listening to you guys for a while. Baseball. Is it the series?
Yeah. I think Atlanta's up.
I hate it.
Unless it's the Cardinals, I don't care. Sorry.
St. Louis boy.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Mower Medic, you're going to have to tell us that story of, why you are banned from TikTok. Go up to Mark Nettles. Mark Nettles says, I use True Fuel. It seems to do good in my Toro and 34-year-old John Deere. I know hundreds of people that have told me that they use True Fuel and that it works well. But at the same time, every once in a while, if you have been running True Fuel, and I'm going to tell you this in anything that you're running it in, especially 2 cycles, if for some reason you put in a new batch of gas and it does not run, change your gas out. I have no idea, but it's very, very common. At least once every 2 to 3 weeks during our busy season from March until October, I see people come in, and the only thing wrong is that their machine will not run on the batch of True Fuel that is in their machine at the time. I don't know why. I have no idea. I'm behind it. All I'm saying is all I do is change their gas out and it runs like a brand new machine. So there's something wrong every once in a while at Lowe's with the batches that they're getting. So I've had too many people tell me that they run their stuff on True Fuel and it's great. So I know that it obviously is at some points, but I've had way too many people tell me, that's what was in their machine and I can smell it and see what it looks like. So I know what it is whenever that's all that's wrong with their machine. And I mean, we get 2,000 pieces of equipment. It's a lot of things that I see and I know that it's an issue. So that's the only one that I really see the issue with is the True Fuel. So canned gas. That's what I'm talking about. Greg Brown. Thank you.
Anyway, related fuel commented on a separate video about disposing of old fuel. Don't want to blend, recycle here in Arkansas. Waste charge thoughts. Since about half of our fuel is already mixed fuel. I mean, it doesn't really matter if we blend the fuel and the oil because we'd have to have several tanks to keep it separate. I think this last year was the first time we were ever charged.
No, we didn't get charged. He just was very hesitant about picking it up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he couldn't get rid of it.
Yeah, because when gas price, and it wasn't this year. This year.
Last year, I'm sorry. Yeah,
this year's screwed. Okay,
yeah.
Well, we'll go there. Through the comments. I'm not going to say anything. I'll let y'all comment. And I'll just like them about how screwed up this year is. But the year before, in 2020, at the beginning of that, when gas prices got so low, they didn't want to pick our gas up because
they couldn't get rid
of it. He's had tons of it. So when the gas prices are up, then he's able to turn it over, and we get our stuff picked up for free. So I let people dump their stuff for free if it's not a couple gallons. Up to 5 gallons. I'm not really worried about it because the guy comes and picks it up from me for free, and I don't want you, dumping it somewhere in your yard and killing all your stuff. So, I'm here in Arkansas. I don't know about other places what they do, but go to that comment right there. We sent a pallet of True Fuel because of water. We run a farm and home store in Franklin County, Missouri. So you're saying like there was water in the True Fuel? Really? Huh. I don't know. All I'm saying is I know that there's bad batches, period. And I'm not going, I'm not going to say there's bad batches.
What I'm going to say is some machines react adversely to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know when it's going to happen.
No. Because they could put the same fuel in another machine and it work, and it's really odd and weird. I don't know. But
to stay on fuel, when you fraction gas out of petroleum, gas originally rolls off at roughly 70 octane. It's not going to work in these machines. It doesn't work at 70 octane. And for the most part, it's not basically redistilled to, you can get it up to you can get it up to 90, 92 octane, somewhere in there. But for the most part, what they do is they take, and petroleum, like naphtha. Naphtha is used a lot to raise the octane of gasoline so that it doesn't, detonate before the compression stroke's done. But so there may be a problem with the fuel itself not being able to combust, but that's what we're seeing. It won't combust.
Mower Medic says, talking about the True Fuel, when I went to the steel school, they even said the steel moto mix has bad batches and wouldn't even start a brand new chainsaw. So yeah, it's obviously just a bad batch thing to me, I think, because I've had too many times that people say it worked good, and I have too many times that I've seen it not work. So yeah, that's where we're at on that. If you just know that if you know everything else is good and you keep using True Fuel, that's the first thing I would try. I would try a different batch. So, and we had a question up here. Let's see. Oh, you're out of juice.
I gotta go real quick.
We're fixing to die. Oh no, Ron didn't charge the computer. Oh. Let's see, what's it say? Stephen Shaney, I have a walk-behind string trimmer with a Briggs & Stratton 190cc 8.75, and it takes a triangle air filter with a part number, what is that part number? and I can't find any in my area or online Briggs & Stratton. That's not a Briggs & Stratton part number. That is probably the part number for whoever made the string trimmer. There is a model number on the unit, probably, gosh, the one that takes the triangle air filter. I don't know. You're going to have to look it up through the model number way. But Briggs & Stratton part numbers don't have letters in them, and they're not 7 digits or 8 digits. They're 6 digits. So that is probably, you will be able to find it once you go through the Briggs way of looking it up. And it takes a train. I can't find it in my area. So yeah, we can figure that out. If you want to message me through Facebook, once you find the model number on the machine, if it's overhead valve, it might be stamped into the overhead valve cover. If it might have a white tag on the side that will have it, or it might be etched into the block where it mounts to the machine. So those are the few places you can look for that model number, and I will help you find that. Thank you, William, for sending all those links. We do have a Chickanic website now, chickanic.com. If you'd like to go check that out, that just has a condensed version of all the videos and some other cool information. And we're going to be opening up a store once I get all my stuff together. But have I? No. So also we have an Instagram where you're going to see things that you're not going to see on YouTube or Facebook, really. And then we have the Facebook. So
Facebook, y'all.
So are we going to die? Are we good?
No, we're good.
All right.
We're on and charging.
All right, we got 164 in the house. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. All right. Oh, I lost my spot. Okay, Steven's going to go find his model number and get back to me. I don't like your mouse.
Well, you have your own mouse over there.
Do I give out 2-stroke mix for Halloween? I don't give out nothing because we don't have anybody. Nobody comes to this house in the middle of the woods. Ken Small Engine did reply to Steven. Not a 792038. So you might check out what Ken's talking about because he's pretty smart about his stuff. Tracy Diller, happy Halloween to you, everyone. What are we drinking at this fine evening? What's everybody drinking? Is anybody drinking? Just us? I just finished my Spaten Optimator. Okay, good. And now, I gotta drink the Blue Moon.
Well, that's all I had out here.
Now I gotta drink a Blue Moon because that's what Ron had out here. It's not as good as the Spaten Optimator. All right. Simple. What's Motor Medic saying here? As simple as a 2-stroke engine is, what is the most hair-pulling repair you have ever done? On a 2-stroke? I mean, what's on my mind is the one that Ron had. That it's like the movie The Money Pit, where you fix one thing and then the next thing breaks and the next thing breaks.
That's not 2-stroke though.
I know it's not 2-stroke. It's just that's what's on my mind because that's the most hair pulling because that's when Ron comes down front and he's like, I just did this to a machine and now it's doing this. I'm gonna make that guy pay this one. I'm like, no, you're not. I know you're mad right now at the machine, but it's the problem is we get so many units in that big units like riders and stuff that people buy at auctions and stuff, or they have no idea about, and then they bring it to us and they're like, no, it's okay, I'm down to spend $400 to $500 on it. Okay, well, once we get that $400 in and then something else breaks, or then we find out that it's not charging, or it's like that's always fun.
I guess on a 2-stroke, years ago before I went to the Echo School, I didn't realize that those little carburetors had a little check valve in them. that you couldn't get at and you can't do anything about. And, if they're bad, the carburetor's bad. You just have to get rid of it. But of course, if it's stuck the correct way, then it runs every now and again and you can get it to go. I think that I probably spent 2 weeks trying to figure out that chainsaw. And I didn't learn for another year what was the matter with it. And so, yeah, that was pretty bad. That was, I had a lot of doubts in myself after that. And, the king shouldn't doubt himself.
The most hair pulling repair I've ever done. I made a video on this blower. I had a customer bring in that Steel BR 350 or something, I think it was, and it was not a big deal. They brought it in with water in the fuel tank. I took the fuel out, I put it in, I ran it. It ran like a brand new blower because it essentially was almost a brand new blower. Give it back to him. He comes back probably 3 weeks later and he's like, it's doing the same thing. And I'm like, what? Okay, so I checked the fuel. No, the fuel is still like my fuel, like, because I filled it up. He hadn't even used it that much. What is going on here? I initially, whenever it was in the first time, I had checked the exhaust screen. I had checked everything. Well, whenever
and it didn't have an exhaust screen. That one didn't.
No, and it didn't. So at some point it was taken out. So I was like, well, it's not the exhaust screen. I'm not going to worry about that. I take the muffler off. The port looks beautiful between the cylinder and the muffler. I open up the carburetor. This thing is just, every time I would go to start it, it would poof, like, it was farting or something, and then it wouldn't run. It would never hit again after that first initial hit. So I looked through everything, okay, like everything. I went through the carburetor. I looked, through, made sure the fuel lines were good, made sure the fuel was good, made sure the fuel filter, changed the fuel filter out. While I'm doing this, of course, Steel's got that spark plug boot that's really hard to take off. So I ripped the spark plug boot off. So I had to replace the spark plug boot. Made sure that, it was the not a fire issue, because I wasn't confident in myself that after I'd ripped the spark plug boot off, which is something I've made a video about trying to warn people not to do, but it wasn't that either. So I'm just sitting on it for like 3 weeks. I'm like, I had Ron look at it and told him everything I did. And he's like, I don't know what's wrong with it. Because, I feel like a lot of times if you just have somebody look at it with a fresh pair of eyes, then they can help. And we do that a lot at the shop. If you're stuck on something, it's so nice to be like, come help me. This is what I've done. What do you think? And a lot of times it's just, you need a fresh pair of eyes. That's it. Ron was like, nope, everything looks fine. Set it down, come back to it a few weeks later. And how did I figure out that it was a damn dirt dauber? A dirt dauber inside of the muffler had built a home. And I'm like, what? You couldn't see it. You couldn't see it from the hole. It was inside. Like, it was bizarre to me. And so that was why
I think it was an accident that you found it.
It was a complete accident.
I think, you had gotten to a point where you just took it out every now and again to try to figure out.
I'm like, I'm going to start over from the beginning and figure this out. And it ended up being a damn dirt dauber. That was my most hair pulling experience, I think, for sure. A 3-week repair of going through everything multiple times because I was lost. So thanks for that question and making me remember all that. Oh gosh, look at Ken. Oh gosh, I hate your mouse.
Yours is right there.
I know, I know. My best was when a person brought me a trimmer I just brought to the dump an hour earlier. That ain't no lie. I've seen that happen. Yeah, for sure. We've had units come in, and whenever, for a while there, we double X the tickets, and then we double X the ticket that's on it. And when I say double X, that means that it's dead. Like there's a detrimental problem with the unit.
Or we're not going to fix it.
Yeah, or it's going to cost too much to fix. And so we'll have back a long time ago, we would like put little X's with a knife or something in the bottom of like the chainsaw or whatever. And we'd see units come back in with those double X's. It was funny. And they're like, no, where'd you buy this? Pawn shop? Yep, no. Did you say it was farting? I did say it was farting. It was going, that's all it would do. Oh. What is this? Nip K. So I am a chick that does a man's job repairing houses. I rather work in front of men than women because women don't trust you did the job right, and the guy confirms you did the job right. It's funny that you say that because when I got out of high school, the first place I worked was, well, the second place I worked was this repair shop that we own now. That was like my first, real job. And whenever you work on the counter, I wasn't repairing things. I was just working on the counter, but you get the same questions over and over and over again. So I had a mechanic there. He was such an awesome person. But anyways, and I'd have a customer come in and they'd ask, well, what's wrong with my mower? Or can I speak with a mechanic? And I'd say, well, what's wrong with your mower? And they'd tell me the situation and I'd give them an answer. And they're like, well, can I ask your mechanic? And so I'd go and I'd pull back the door to the shop and I'd tell them, hey, this guy wants to know if he can talk to you. He has a question about his mower, and he'd stick his head down. He'd be mad. And he'd say, what? And the guy would say the same question to him, and his answer would be like, what'd she say? And the guy would answer, and he's like, well, she's right. And it's funny that, how some people do not believe a woman can do it. But I actually taught this guy 2 cycles.
Yes, you did. I'm a big engine,
he's
shade tree hot rodder. And, I'd never fixed a lawnmower before in my life before we got that shop. I'd always thrown them away and I'm sure many people, made money off of me dumping mowers and just going and getting another one because there was nothing wrong with them. I'm sure it's just, I didn't want to spend the time to deal with them. So when we got the shop, she had to teach me, the basics of small engines. And really, there's not a lot of difference in it. I mean, it's a carbureted engine, and it's just getting everything down on a smaller scale.
I think Donnie Boy did a video on something like that where the screen was like clogged with dirt. He did. Now, I also referenced Donnie Boy in the video that I put out today about the carburetors. Those MTD carburetors actually have screens in the inlet the fuel inlet nipple, John Clem. And so that wasn't an issue before. All the old carburetors, you could blow through there, blow your seat out. Everything was fine. You knew that it was clear. Now there's screens inside of the inlet, and you have to make sure to blow the other way to make sure that you get all the gunk out. And sometimes, what'd you say? They're made out of some kind of material that corrodes, and eventually it's going to get all clogged up, and you're not going to be able to clean it out.
Well, I mean, they're either made out of steel or something. I'm pretty sure they're metal. I think they're steel, but yeah, ethanol is corrosive. So if ethanol hits steel, it's going to corrode eventually, especially if it sits there, and as it corrodes, it'll rust. And as it oxidizes and rusts, it's going to, send a bunch of little particles of stuff and clog your jets up. So
I'm sure they thought it was a good idea, but it's much better idea to have. There's tons of fuel line on those MTD engines. There's no reason to not have a inline fuel filter and totally get away from a fuel filter or a screen inside the carburetor that you can't even get to. That's so ridiculous. So yes, Donnie Boy did teach me about that, and thank you very much, Donnie Boy. Mower Medic, are you guys going to have an open house come springtime? You know what? Every time it gets to a point to where it's open house time, I'm too busy to even care about doing one. To be honest, there was 4, now there's 5. Our son's helping of us at the shop, and from the second the sun pops out and people are like, everybody hibernates here, okay? And then when spring comes, we know it goes from nothing 1 week to where we're sitting around twiddling our thumbs to where we go 3 weeks out. Within a week, we're 3 weeks out on repairs. People don't care. I mean, they're still dropping stuff off. I don't have time to do a spring fling. So Tim Small, engine repair. Hey, how you doing? On that Remington engine you worked on, where is the number to look up parts? I've got a Truett push mower and I can't find any parts for it. It's got that weird MTD engine on it, like on the trimmer. You know what? I didn't even look.
Sometimes there's a white tag on it, but if there's any model number at all on the MTD number, if it says anything at all, any letter number combination on the shroud or anything, you can punch that in and you can find that engine from there.
No. Here's what you do. You go to mtd.com or mtdparts.com, and there is a model number on the back of the unit that's an MTD part number. And if the MTD unit has an MTD engine on it,
on the frame, not on the engine.
Yes, on the frame. I'm sorry, on the frame of whatever you're working on, get that model number and serial number. And if it has an MTD engine on an MTD unit, it'll show you a parts breakdown at mtdparts.com. It will. Just saying.
Yeah. Do all John Deere walk-behind mowers have problems with paint peeling, flaking, or just mine? No. There's a series. There's a group of years that they have that problem. And unfortunately, it's a bunch of them.
And the rider decks.
And the rider decks of the 100 series that I'm going to suggest that John Deere made these but I can't confirm that. I don't know for certain because it isn't like them to skip on quality like this. So, and it's the way that it's electrostatic coated, and if it gets wet, it will pull away from the metal, and as soon as it bubbles up, you can get water in there and it will start corroding. So if that happens, you see that, you really need to scrape it down immediately and paint it. And once you do that, it should be okay.
And just let you know, if you have a riding lawnmower, John Deere, Bald Eagle, I don't know if he's in here tonight, but he's one of our buddies. He's got a great video on how to repair the seats and the fiberglass hoods. So, because we pretty much tell customers when they drop off their John Deeres, we're not responsible if your John Deere hood breaks while it's here, because they just are junk. I mean, over time, they just deteriorate and they'll just break for no reason. So. Yeah. NOGB, hell yes. My wife is the owner of a truck body manufacturer and they still want to talk to the lead upfitter. It's funny because I'll be at the counter and I work on every 2 cycle that comes into place. I've been doing it forever. Okay. And so, and just on top of that, I sell parts for a living. So I know pretty much the questions about every other kind of unit. But if my 19-year-old son is sitting at the counter next to me, they'll walk in the door and ask him the question instead of me because he's a dude. And my kid knows nothing. Okay. He's just learning. It's like, it is funny though. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's still, even after all these years, I don't know, it's kind of strange to me to see,
they do it with bronze.
If I go get somebody a chainsaw that's fixed and set it on the counter, they look me directly in the eye and they say, "So what'd you find?" I'm like, "I didn't work on it." I'm like, "Which one of you guys did?" I'm like, "None of us guys did. She did. She does all of them. I don't work on chainsaws." So
even after you say that though, they'll still
look at me. Yeah.
Eye contact and be like, "So what do you think?"
They'll say, "Thanks, guy."
Well, yeah.
Like, okay.
Or even after I tell them I'm going to be the one working on it, they'll say, or me or the other lady that's going to work on it, well, tell him. And I'm like, I'm not a him, but it's okay, whatever. I don't care anymore, really. It doesn't make any difference to me. It's, just making money. So. All right, let's see. Are Hitachi trimmers marketed as Echo in the US, Canada? Do you know if any viewers know? Just that here in New Zealand, my Hitachi trimmer looks like your Echoes. They might have sold their name. I do not know about that in other countries.
They do private label.
They might,
have
yeah.
before, and they still do. Yokobinko
Yeah,
Corporation does privately label for other companies. I
haven't seen any that are Hitachis that look like Echoes here. So, but they might. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen in some other place because they do sell their name. Hitachi does. Go to Ken Lacto's comment. I want to talk to him. So new Echo battery equipment for 2022. Have you received any information about it yet? I have an old Echo battery trimmer that I've had good luck with. Now that I have not, I have done special orders for people when it comes to battery powered equipment. I have not stocked it in my store because, to tell you the truth, people are scared of what they don't know about. And the only things that the only feedback that I got back was about the battery life not being really good in the blowers. And so that sort of scared me. And I don't like to sell things that I can't stand behind. Now, if you were saying your trimmer is good, that makes me happy because I like to know those things so I can feel confident about selling Echo electric trimmers. I just don't have enough feedback to know anything about them. So we're pretty much one of the main Echoes dealers in town, and we just have not sold many. So I haven't got much feedback. Ryan Short, I have a Craftsman riding mower. If I jump it off my truck, it turns over for maybe 5 seconds. I bought a new battery and that didn't fix it. So is your Craftsman riding lawn mower, we need some more information on what kind of engine it is, Ryan. If you would tell us, is it like a Briggs or is it a newer engine?
Well, I mean, just normal things to check. Make sure that your negative cable is attached well to the frame or the engine, so that the starter is getting a good negative. A bad negative connection can make it drag like it's either a bad starter or your compression relief is not functioning. And make sure that your battery terminals are, well seated and locked down good.
George, women definitely have more patience and a sharper eye for detail. You know what? I didn't have a sharper eye for detail in the video that I made until I watched it in editing. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm going to get so many comments on this. And I did. Yeah, I did, because you all are very observant. Do you know what I didn't do?
You didn't put the fuel clamp back on.
I didn't. And I didn't know. We got home and I'm like, I'm done with this thing. When we put it up and we come home and I'm looking at the videos that we shot and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't put the fuel clamp back on, which, I mean, the hose was tight as, I'm not even going to say, but I should have put the hose clamp back on. And I want to thank everybody who watched close enough and paid attention to everything in the video close enough to tell me that I was wrong. I like that. Thank you. For real, I do. I'm glad that you are paying attention enough in my videos to tell me what I do wrong, because I'm human. I'm not going to act like I'm not. And oh no, it was fine. I should, no, I should have put the clamp back on. But oh. Independent thinker, my daughter is a gunsmith. That's awesome. Yes. Let's see. Are you clicking on one or?
No, I didn't see one.
We're going through questions here. There's John Clem. Call me out a little bit, okay? Yeah. Yeah, you're like, what's that shirt you're wearing? Huh? I'm just messing with you. It's hot in the shop. Okay. I've told y'all this. I didn't have the air conditioner going. All right. Also check solenoid ground. That is a problem too. Okay. Mowers and blowers outdone. Hello, darling. How you doing? Happens to me as a straight male hairdresser. Guys don't want a guy to cut their hair for some reason. I act gay sometimes just to mess with them.
My very first business, I mean, like directly, actually, I was still in college when I acquired it, was a hair salon. And I don't know nothing about cutting hair. I know zero about cutting hair. And that was to my detriment, as a matter of fact, because those girls walked all over me. I had no idea how to control them, control the business, anything. It was a huge mistake that I made. I had to get out of it, as fast as I could. But it made an enormous amount of money, actually. I was really surprised at the amount of cash flow that that little place had. And
that's because you were like in the middle of a retirement community where
Yeah,
all
yeah.
these old women would
Yeah,
come
I
in and
was.
have their hair set.
Yeah, shampooed and set.
Yeah.
During bad weather, I'd drive around, and pick them up and bring them in. So.
But I ain't gonna lie, my last hairdresser before my current one, he was gay. And he did my hair pretty damn good. But I'd still let you do my hair, mowers and blowers. What do you think? Oh, speaking, you'd be somebody to ask if you do hair. What do you think? So I've been letting it grow out, my natural color. It's sort of scary right now. Do you think I should get rid of the blonde? What's everybody think? Do you think I should get rid of the blonde? I used to all be full blonde, and then I've been letting it grow out because my hairdresser, she broke her leg. But should I go back blinging blonde? What y'all think? I want to know. Oh, thank
Let me
y'all.
Is it the belt or the low fluid that makes the G730 hydrotrans on a Craftsman GG stop working completely, or is it something else? Well, it's either the belt or the pump itself. If it gets low on fluid, then it's not going to go anywhere. It has to have the fluid. So if you can put fluid in it, which the G730 hydro, I can't get that one in my head. I can't remember. I don't remember the G730. So I don't know which hydro that. If that's a sealed unit, then it would have to be opened up and resealed. But if it is the belt, then it's going to be much easier to see because the belt won't be on the pulley. But
it's time to give something away.
Yay!
All right, it's time to do some Chickanic trivia. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. For all you true, faithful Chickanic watchers, we have a question. All right, so Tractor Supply, on one of the videos, we went there and we got a huge deal. What did we buy and how much did we get off? If you get the correct answer, we'll send you a t-shirt.
Yeah.
First one to answer correctly. Oh, blonde. Dell, you think blonde? Okay, I'm going with blonde. He's the only one.
He's the only one
that
answered.
I'll go back blonde. Okay. You ain't got to twist my arm.
Make a Husqvarna backpack leaf blower flood out for
After
just sitting a couple of months.
Was it really just a couple of months? Okay, if it was just a couple of months and it consistently floods out, is it like leaking through the muffler? because usually it's hard diaphragms. It might have a tank vent that's clogged. But if it was running fine a few months ago, and the thing about it is a lot of times when people tell me a few months, it wasn't a few months, it was like 6 to 7 months. And in 6 to 7 months, your diaphragms in your carburetor can get hard, which can push your needle open all the time and flood your unit out constantly until you work it out. But backpack leaf blower, those are really good carburetors. Without knowing, are you using canned fuel? Because you could have a bad batch of canned fuel that'll make it flood out. Just saying. I don't know. It's really hard in a few months.
Those, really there has to be pressure on the gas tank to do it, to continually flood out. Because if you equalize the pressure in the gas tank, you can't draw fuel up. So.
Okay. Kevin Goodland, why are you not talking about the text messages from me? Are you leaving messages here? What is the best battery or patrol mower? We don't want to miss your question. I'm sorry that we didn't see you. The best battery or patrol walk behind mower. We work on nothing but gas powered stuff. So the only ones I've seen come in the shop that need like just a blade replacement is the Cobalt ones. I don't know if you're in America or not, if that's the brands you're saying. I can't say that the Cobalt ones are good because everybody that I've seen get one didn't have it for very long and went back to gas powered. So the best walk behind push mower, I would say, what do you think? Like is Snapper even Snapper anymore?
Yeah, you can still get Snappers.
The Snapper is great.
If you're talking
money you want to spend?
If you're talking really, there's not a lot of difference in a lot of the gas ones. They're MTD is using their engines as opposed to some of the other brands that are still using Kohler and or Briggs and Stratton. I'm not going to say the MTD engines aren't bad. I just haven't seen any longevity out of them yet. They're just not lasting quite as long. So as far as the battery, really a lot of the battery ones are all the same. I'm going to suggest that a lot of them, are using the same technology and they're just rebranded. So the battery technology is pretty much all the same, and the electric motor technology is pretty much all the same. So the higher powered one that you get is probably going to work better, but.
What is the oldest mower we have done?
It's probably that John Deere 212 that's sitting outside. I've done it. Yeah. Well, I've done it before. I fixed it before. I did the points and condensers on it about 4 years ago.
William asked, does your children show any interest in small engines? We're going to have to come up with a different trivia question because nobody knows the answer to that one. We'll get another one. Okay. So we have 2 children. One is 12 and one is 19. Both are boys. Our 19-year-old is starting to work at the shop and he does have interest in it. And he is learning and he's doing quite well. Our 12-year-old, he
wears a suit.
He wears a suit.
He's not going to be into small engines.
No. He much rather he got to wear a suit to school tomorrow, Friday for a dress-up day, and he was ecstatic. This kid can solve a Rubik's Cube in like 35 seconds. He has straight A's other than an 88 in advanced pre-algebra in 7th grade. He is first chair in trumpet. So this kid doesn't want to do small engine repairs. But
the worst problems he
my older
has
kid
is
does.
contemplating, between medicine
yeah,
and possibly, an earth science.
Yeah,
That's his big dilemma. It's like, I don't know. Do I want to be a surgeon or an archaeologist?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there you go.
So then we watch Indiana Jones, and he's like, God, I want to be an archaeologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Daniel DIY. Yes, it was. Oh, P-Draw. Air compressor. No, it was not $200. John Egan air compressor and 150 off. Who had to go out of this video and go watch it? Okay, hold on. It was on a thumbnail. I should have thought of something harder. Okay, so everybody has to agree. Was it John Egan that got the correct item and the amount off? Oh, no, John or Tom Hartranft. Did you get it first? Compressor, 150. Hold on, let me make sure that I get the right person. Yeah, I think you're it. Oh. Tom. You know what, John? You've watched a bunch of my stuff too, and you're hanging out with us every live. So you get a shirt too. So we're gonna give it to Tom and John because both of you. So Tom Hartranft and John Egan. You need to send me an email or a message through Facebook. And you can find my email address on the YouTube page at the About section. And you can find me on Facebook at Chickanic, I think. Yep. And send me or email me. And then I would like your t-shirt size and your address. And then I will not stalk you, I promise. Just kidding. Thank you for playing, though. Awesome. Oh, wait, no. You won! Isn't that awesome? We have that for our band. We have actually 4 of them, and they are awesome. So we do old rock from the last. It's funny because when we started, I was like, old rock from the last 40 years. No, it's old rock from the last 70 years now. Because we even do some songs. Well, no, 60 years. What you got? I get the Beck's Dark.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Does your children? Oh no, that's an old one. Okay. Let's see. So we had a winner. We had 2 winners. Right. I decided on 2 winners because I mean, John Egan, he's been watching us for a long time. So. All right, Philip, you're a little late, but you are correct. It was an air compressor, and we did get $150 off. Sweet. All right. I had it first at 9:04. Larry. Well, where are you, Larry? Let me see. Larry says he won 2. He might have, and I missed it because, I'm just sitting here drinking. All right, Larry, send us yours too, and we're going to go through. That was John's. And we got to see if Larry was before. Oh, Larry got it too. We're sending out 3 shirts. Larry, thanks. Send us your email address, shirt size. Email us, send us your shirt size and your address. Sorry I missed that. Thank you for letting me know. All right. There was nobody up in front of Larry, was there? Because I totally screwed the pooch on that one. So, all right, Steven. I couldn't find anything other than a trimmer manufacturer and a model number. It's a Brute and made in Vietnam, and I didn't see what part number that I believe Ken suggested. Steven, did you see? You said trimmer manufacturer and model number. What is that? Let's give that to us and the serial number off the brute, and we can see if we can find it from that.
Where is your dogs? Our dogs are out back right now by the pool. That's where they're at. They're kind of rowdy.
We have 2 English bulldogs, and they're a mess. Very messy. Yes.
We're going to talk about some of the things that I'm planning for the Chickanic that, you know, she like doesn't know about. And anyway, I wanted to show y'all how to, you know, do a couple things and look at a couple things. So in the next week or two, I'm going to see if she'll, like right now I've got a Kawasaki tore apart, have the heads off of it, and it has valve issues. And it's directly related to fuel. I mean, the problem is directly related to fuel and age, but it is a problem. And I'm going to see if, you know, she'll make a short on, you know, why the valves get like this and why your engine starts to spit and sputter. And then we've got a Super Z60 out back with a 27 horsepower Kohler that it won't start when you hit the key, it just clicks. And I'm going to see if she'll go over why that happens on those starters and with the solenoid attached to them. It's actually a fairly simple fix, and it eludes a lot of people. So,
Old man Fred, I want you to stalk me. How do you know I already haven't? Okay, seriously. Like everybody on here. You think I don't click on you? No, I'm just kidding. Maybe I'm not. Okay. Everyday detailing lawn care. Hello. If I can ask, how did you get started in small engine work? I got out of high school while I was in school, I did 2 years of small engine repair school, like class. And so
at a technical
college. And so when I got out, I started working at a lawnmower repair shop that we currently are at, but it was owned by some other people. And I worked there for 2 years on the counter answering questions, which you get to learn a lot of stuff when you answer the same questions over and over again, because everybody has the same problems. And so quit doing that, got with my husband. We did a plethora of other things. And then we opened the shop that we have now, closed down in 2009 after the economy went to boot here in the US. And so we reopened it in 2011. And we've been doing it for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And so that's.
And when we acquired it, we actually owned a restaurant
across the street
from it. And
which is
we
nice.
thought we could do 2 businesses at one time because that's how incredibly cool and awesome we are. And we were wrong.
We did it for 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, we're not
we
that
had 2
motivated.
businesses with me at the lawnmower shop and him at the cafe because he's a chef. And I'm a mechanic. and then we were just like, no, this is not good. So thanks for asking. Everyday detailing lawn care.
Jump. There we go.
Valhalla.
Elvis beer run. Huh? Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what it was. It was a beer run by the king. So it's okay.
Pickles. Cro-Mags. What you talking about? Pickles?
Yes, we have 2 cats. One of them you'll probably never see because she's just a mess. Yeah. And he'll come in right now. Yeah, I mean he'd come in and jump up here right now. Her, if she thinks anyone's looking, no, she's.
Both of them were strays that just appeared, and we went ahead and took it. And feed. They actually adopted us. We did not adopt them. So. Okay, I will get with you on Facebook tomorrow. Okay, Stephen. Yeah, send me the information and we will get y'all figured out. All right. NOGB has a BR350 question. Hey guys, what's your thoughts on a steel blower BR350 that had a carb replaced and a full tune? My only guess is an air issue. So what are you saying it's doing? You're gonna have to give me some more info. Like, is it won't start? Because I just did a video on one that I worked on for 3 weeks with a mud dauber in the muffler. Okay. I don't know.
We've got
a few things. I need to know what it's doing.
We've got a 350 hanging around, and we use it every now and again.
Yeah, I got one out back.
It's a real blower. That's kind of nice. Honestly, I don't like that 4-mix technology. I really don't. They're real. They work really well when they're brand new. No, the 350 is a straight. It's just 2-stroke. They're very powerful. I mean, they're really good, but man, when something goes wrong with those, I mean, it goes wrong. Like wrong, like bad wrong kind of. And so the 350s, they really are kind of weak, but they're better than, I mean, they're better than a lot of the stuff out there. So it works pretty good when it works.
Ted Lane, any fix to stop Husqvarna saw from drooling bar oil all the time? Oiler works okay. They just empty the tank as they sit. Okay, so first thing to do, what I tell everybody, just be happy that it oils at all. No, I'm just kidding. But no, not seriously. I am not really just kidding. Be happy it oils. Second, when you get done using it, release the cap on the bar oil and close it back, because sometimes the built up pressure in there will let it come out. Also, it is a heat thing. If you leave it in an area where it is very warm, because bar oil has, if you're using a bar oil that's good, that has a viscosity that's going to be really sticky, it will not leak as much as some of the really thin stuff.
But all oil expands as it heats.
Yes. So if you're keeping it in a hot area, it's going to leak more than being in a cold area. But if it gets down, I mean, other than that, there's a lot of them don't have adjustments on them. The next thing is just leaky rubber fuel or oil hoses, and you have to replace them, and they're not fun at all. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to actually put the lines in. The bad part is trying to get the filter, the bar oil filter, back on the line, because they make it so short inside the tank. It's really difficult to get on. So, but yeah, release the cap. That's what I tell people to try first. Or lay it on its side. Sometimes it makes a difference if you lay it on a certain side. Sorry, I don't have Facebook. Go to my John Egan. It says he doesn't have Facebook to get me his information. So you're going to want to go to my about section on YouTube, and you will find my email address, and you can email me that way. Mark Wiley, is there any more music coming, guys? You talking about our band? Is that what you're talking about?
Any more music? We've actually got quite a bit of music. That's kind of that's going to be a winter thing too, because the other mechanic who works in the back with me is the other guitar player in our band, and he actually has a studio set up in his garage. And as it slows down there, we can get down there more and more and mess with things. I actually owe some people some music, so I got to get down there and do some work on that. But
we don't have any more gigs planned right now, though.
No, we don't.
No, this has sort of consumed us.
Because we're, very lazy now. And I don't want to set up a show. I don't want to move speakers anymore.
William asked, do I ever get stumped? I have 3 units right now that I have sitting right behind my bench, hanging there, that I'm stumped on, that I have no idea why they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Ones that I have one that's owned by the National Park Service that they bent their shaft, and I put a new shaft and a new gear head and a new clutch. And for some reason, it doesn't spin correctly the way it's supposed to. And I'm like, how can that happen when everything's new? Everything. It's like, yeah. So yeah, I get stumped. I don't get it. Oh, have you ever considered having a little jam section on a live stream?
That would get completely out of control. The king is a very dominating personality.
No, we haven't thought about that. I don't know. So the problem is because I have, thank you, we have 35,000 subscribers now.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, but you want to know what? Some people don't want to see anything else but me repairing things at all. Like if it's anything remotely about gardening or my backyard or my husband or kids or anything, they are very adamant that they dislike what I'm doing. So it's sort of weird, but yeah. I don't know if bringing the band in and playing any music would be cool with them. Or should I
Well,
just
they
not
said
care?
live, so
Yeah, we can do it live because they're not
Yeah.
here, are
yeah,
they?
we can get Alex.
Yeah, they're not here. They don't want to live with us. So, what's the name of your band again? The name of the band, John. You know the name of the band. You just want to hear us say it. Don't even lie. Don't even lie. The name of the band's Hooker Red. Eleanor Rides. Thank you so much. I hope that, I save you time, money, and frustration in the future. Seriously, though, I get such nice comments from everybody. Okay, I'm on my third beer. You know what that means.
Can you tell me whatever the initial low and high speed setting is? Pulling 4218. 4218, the high is going to be up there in the 10,500 range.
What? No, he's talking about that. You're talking about that. Is he talking about the carburetor adjustments, or is he talking about, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the RPM.
No. Oh, can you tell me whatever the initial low and high speed setting is on the P-line? Are we talking about the RPMs, or are we talking about the high and low adjusting screws? Because I'm thinking something totally different than what he's thinking.
Yeah, she is. But so let's give them both. Let's give them both.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, the low side's going to be just where, the chain's jumping. You're going to want it to idle just so that the, clutch, so the machine doesn't die and the clutch isn't constantly turning, and the high side's going to be in the 10,500 range. Go ahead.
On the high and low speed, now there are multiple things that you need to check before you go to adjusting on a carburetor. We talked about this in the last live stream with the Mower Medic, that you want to make sure that first your fuel is good, that your fuel filter is good, that your air filter is good, that the machine is not burned up. Once you have knocked out a bunch of other things, then you go to adjust on the carburetor. On a Pro 4218, I don't know what the actual adjustments are. What I do is I start out at about 2 to 2.5 on both of them, and then I go from there, depending on how it's acting on the low end while it's idling or while it's revving up. I either give it more or less depending on what it needs. So I start out on a Pro 4218 at I would go 2.5 on both of them and see what happens. Philip Orr is an Echo CS right there. Is an Echo CS 310 a good saw for light cutting? It's an excellent saw for light cutting, and it starts extremely easy. So I have one of my friends who is a steel dealer in town sends everybody that has issues with starting things, whether they have shoulder issues, back issues, whatever, they send them my way because the Echoes, he knows, he's sold Echoes for a while. They start way easier than any other unit. So whenever you also, it's got a 5-year warranty for any manufacturer defect. So that's like way longer than steel. And no, Husqvarna I think has 5 years too, but Husqvarnas don't start as easy.
I think they have 4.
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain
I'd
that.
have to look.
But yeah, I'd have to look also.
And then no, for light cutting, they're excellent. I mean,
I don't think we've ever gotten a 310 back. I don't think
never,
we've ever had
never. I have had in 10 years one warranty on a Echo chainsaw. And it was because it was on a CS271, a top handle saw, and it was because they wrenched down so hard that they pulled the bar stud out. And that was not necessarily a manufacturer defect, but we did do a warranty on that. So other than that, no, we have had no, and I've sold a ton of CS310s, okay?
Yeah, we saw a lot of those.
Yeah.
And I mean, every now and again, somebody put water in them. But as far as a catastrophic failure on a 310,
nothing goes wrong with
I
that
don't
saw.
think I've seen anything.
If you take care of it, it'll last you forever, really.
Yeah, they're so light, and they're such an easy running saw. And in a decade, you say, I mean, we haven't even seen like sprockets come back to us. And
no,
even like some 590s, we've had some sprocket issues with. I mean, but that's a big aggressive saw, but
yep. No, 310's good. I mean, it's cheap and it's good. It's way better than, $149.
just ordered a 1968 Fender Paisley Pink Telecaster.
I'm going to go to the restroom while you're talking to this guy. Okay?
Absolutely incredible. I tell when people come and ask me, what it's going to cost them to get something done right now, they want, an engine taken out. And I'm like, it's going to cost you a vintage original spec 1968 Les Paul Custom, about $6,800. That's kind of my firm price on that Telecaster. I love Telecasters, absolutely love Telecasters. One of my favorite guitars in the world. I fell in love with the thin lines when I was a kid, and oddly enough, I've never owned one though. I almost took a dive into one about 5 years ago into, I think it was a 74 thin line. Absolutely wicked instrument too. And I didn't because I thought Bree would kill me if, I spent that kind of money on a guitar like that. Because honestly, the guitars that I have don't have any value to anyone but me, because I've never sold a guitar in my entire life. I hoard them, I keep them, I love them. I rub them, and that's it. So let's see what's going on.
So thanks to everybody for hanging out. We got 157 in the house right now. It's Halloween. I know, we're all old. We can't celebrate, but we tell people in the future watch this video and they're like, what
is the matter with those people?
Yeah. That's funny. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see what Randy Hayes has to say. Randy Hayes, have you seen the E3 spark plug in a hedge trimmer? I used one in a pull-on and the 4 screws that held the head came loose. I don't use that plug anymore. I think it got too hot. I take every E3 plug out of every unit that I see because I don't know why they thought this was a good design or idea, but it does not run well in 2 cycles. I know. Do you see them in yours? I don't. Do you?
Very rarely do I see them or the torch. And I'd really, I could spend a long time talking about these designs that they use on these things. And a lot of this comes from the Wayback. You know, if you set the Wayback machine to the late 80s, you have the split fire plug that was kind of a gimmick that came out. My first career, I was an electrician, and the idea of these really does not make any theoretical sense, because if you split the charge in any way at all of a spark plug, then you're going to have the same charge split against two poles that will eventually deteriorate, you know, the amount of trying to get the word out.
Current.
Well, current, but the amount of potential for combustion.
Yeah.
So when you all look at these spark plugs that
They don't work.
they split the element up and show you in a commercial, a nice pretty commercial somewhere where it makes two sparks, you only have one potential of power going through that. You don't have two potentials. So if you split it, you're going to deteriorate its absolute value. And I don't have any way to prove that. Just on a theoretical basis, it shouldn't be a good idea. And I learned that the hard way when I was out drag racing cars.
Do I talk in my sleep?
Does he talk in his sleep?
You do not talk in your sleep. You snore on your right side, but not your left.
When I'm sleeping on my right side?
Yeah. Do I talk in my sleep?
No, you do not talk in your sleep.
There you
Which
go.
is odd because you gave birth to a heck of a sleep talker.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, our youngest talks in his sleep. And it's
Thank
funny,
you,
it's hilarious.
Cutter. We did get 35,000. It's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Awesome. Oh. Mower Medics, have you been getting in several riders in the past month with those plastic general transmissions for Aaron's and John Deere E100s that are toast 3 years old? Are you experiencing this as well?
They're the exact same top end as the RS800. You know, they took the seals out so that the seals aren't blowing out. They're not blowing grease out all over the place. And they still have that belt drive system that just falls apart. So, and you know, also if they get to like 3 years old, have you noticed that when you try to remove them to repair them, everything breaks? The plastic is really fragile and brittle, and so I don't like them. I won't do them anymore. Honestly, I won't. I've been telling people, no, if you want it, you know, you can take it over here, you can take it over there, but I don't want to deal with them anymore.
Yes. Ooh, everything bounced.
Yes, it does. Let's see.
Oh, Echo is a great machine. Yes, it is. They are. I mean, there's a lot of good steels. It's funny because I make videos, and whenever I'm dogging on something that's steel, that's a particular unit or a reason of it, it doesn't mean that I hate all steel, because I love steels too. I have plenty of steels. Okay. I like certain units and of all brands, and I don't like, you know, my trimmers are Shindawas, and I have a steel chainsaw, and it just depends on whatever. But no, Echo is
We got kind of
good.
dogged on that video, the with McCulloch and the steel, because we said we don't have an Echo because nobody gives them to.
Yeah, tell them why.
And I mean, honestly, nobody gives us Echo saws. They really don't. People, that 440 that we have was thrown away. It was thrown away because it had a broken fuel line, and of course, we know how to fix a fuel line. So
that was burned up.
No, that one. No, the 46 was burned up.
Oh,
this one was just set down on the counter. They said they didn't want to deal with it anymore. It was that, and there was a 240 Husqvarna that they brought in with, and they were throwing both away. They wanted to throw them away.
That's what's cool about owning a lawnmower shop is people just want to get rid of their stuff that they don't, want around their house anymore. Like even riders, a lot of times.
Yeah. I've got several riders out there right now that we don't even know how they got there. We just showed up one day and they were sitting there next to the gate. But we've got a another chainsaw out there that somebody just sat down and it's a cool old chainsaw. It's not worth anything, but I think Bree wants to. Did you want to do something with that?
What? I was reading.
The McCulloch.
Which, oh, yeah, we're going to make a video on this really awesome McCulloch that somebody gave us. Do we want to say anything about the McCulloch right now, or we just want to leave it a surprise? How old is it?
It's at least 20 years old.
Yeah, it's not like my, awesome little Mini Max 1977 chainsaw, okay? But it's at least 20 because we're in 2021. So it was 1990 what?
99 to 2001 or 2. 2001 or 2.
One time. They ran this chainsaw one time and then let it sit for 20 years. We got it. Put a little gas in it, straight into the carburetor, just to see what it would do. Popped off. It ran. It ran like a scalded dog, okay? Until the fuel line completely deteriorated and it had no fuel line left to suck up any gas. So we're going to do a video on that because it's awesome. It's it's a good saw.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's California-made saw. But anyway, people give us that stuff all the time. It isn't like it's a rare occasion that.
And they bought a saw when they dropped it off.
Yeah. They bought a 4910. But yeah, people do that all the time. So, I'm seriously considering selling the 440 though for a 590 to own a 5 because a 590 it's a lot lighter. I'm just going to go with it. It weighs a lot less than that 440 with a 20-inch bar and loaded with gas and oil weighs 20 pounds. I mean, straight up 20 pounds. And with a 24-inch bar, it weighs about 22 and a half pounds. So I don't do that much cutting. And
no, we
really
don't
after an hour of running that saw, I'm just getting old and I don't want to work that hard anymore. So I'd like to have a lighter saw. So somebody come in and give me a 590.
Yeah.
So that's broken and I can fix.
The greasy shop rag. Last week I had 2 CS 590s come in needing oil pumps because the adjuster screw fell out. Just me, or have you seen this? I have never ever seen an adjusting screw fall out. That is completely bizarre. Was it that same customer that did it, or was that 2 different instances? Because that is just.
Was it broken or did it just come out?
That's really, really odd. I've never seen that. And usually I'm the one that calls my distributor and I'm the one that causes the issue because I'm like, there's an issue with this. This is happening, like I'm that person that finds all the things that go wrong. And I have never seen that before. Huh? So I don't know. I haven't seen that. What's this? Is this a new car went out? D Brown, it was also a new carburetor, went out 1.5 turns, but it was revving high when I started. Now is your throttle, you have a throttle adjustment too to make sure that it's not in too much because that'll make it rev too high as it starts. But is this the Poulan we were talking about earlier?
Hopefully it's Poulan.
If it is the Poulan that we were talking about earlier, you should not have to adjust it at all if it's a new carburetor. If you bought aftermarket and it's doing weird stuff, that's because it's an aftermarket carburetor and
that can be.
They only work 50% of the time.
That is true. They only work, but you also have to remember what the jets are. and the jets are to add and remove fuel to the mix. All of the air comes through the port and the throttle. So the more fuel that you add to the low end, the slower the chainsaw will run. The more fuel you add to the top end, the slower chainsaw will run. So the way that you adjust speed is, in order to get the idle correct, you unscrew the low end. In order to get the top end correct, to get it faster, you screw in the high adjustment, because that limits the amount of gas, so you'll get more gas than or more air than gas. And on the low end, you want to add more fuel to slow it down, because it can't burn it as fast if you're adding more fuel. That's also why it's bad to let them idle too long.
Yak Branson, I used to work at Advanced Auto, and we tried not to sell the E3 plug. Yes, so whoever was asking about that, that's another person that agrees. We don't recommend the E3 plugs at all. So hope everybody's having a good time. We got 150 in the house. Wow, thank y'all. See, Pat, my wife does talk.
All that I have to do apparently is turn over on my left side.
That's all I have to do. Yeah.
I never sleep on my back. I just don't. I haven't in years and years and years.
Screws are missing. 2017 model 2. Complaint was that they just started oiling inconsistent. Both approved for warranty. That is odd.
Well, you know,
I mean, who knows? But I've never seen that, and I have a lot of commercial guys using the CS590.
In the production plants that I've worked in,
in my life, an area thing.
This is what I've seen. When they have a problem with production, when they have, you know, when a tool isn't working correctly, it isn't torquing something right, it isn't inserting something correctly. These machines are assembled in Illinois. Everything in for Echo is the engines and everything's sent over from Japan, and it's assembled in Illinois. So when they do it, they have production workers, and they have you know, machines that are set, you know, for them to do that with. And when that happens, I've seen that a lot. Here, about 2 years ago, we had a rash of hedge trimmers, and the blades were improperly torqued.
Yeah.
So this wasn't a nationwide problem. This was a regional problem.
But you know what? They warranted the entire gearbox and blade assembly.
Yeah, they did. And really,
it was a simple fix. Really.
Yeah, all that you really had to do was retorque the screw in the lock nut that was holding the blades down. And it was a regional problem. It was happening here in Mississippi, in Texas, in Oklahoma, in Louisiana. So that was a problem in Illinois, where I would suggest, you know, one of their machines wasn't properly calibrated, and through a series of builds that they had, and most of those units were sent down this way. So
NOGB, hey guys, have you had anyone bring in a Husqvarna saw into your shop? I have, and they are astounded when I tell them they are old steel clones.
Yeah, you just had one.
Just had one. My first one about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. And I wanted so bad to make a video, but the guy come and picked it up because I fixed it. So here's what I did. He had a problem with his pull rope and wanted a new pull rope put in. When I took it apart, the rewind pulley was broken. And I found out that it is a steel clone. I had a steel 044 rewind pulley in stock that I put inside of his, gosh, I forgot what the model number was, but it was something 440-ish. And geez, I don't know. And
it was 46.
46, maybe.
Yeah, so it made it about, 76, 78 cc.
And it worked, and I was shocked. And then I looked at the starter pawls, and I needed a starter pawl, and one of the starter pawls that I keep in stock for the steels worked. And so, yeah, everything worked. But you know what? Everything is completely way cheaper made than the steels. Like you can tell the way it's got the same flip top gas caps as the steel does, except they're cheaper made. The whole saw, everything about it, even the metal casting of the rewind housing and the body, it was all steel, every bit of this saw, but it was blue and it was really cheaply made. Okay. It was like, but hey,
the materials were not nearly as, but
no.
you look at the price for $279, you can buy the power head without a bar
without
and chain.
the bar and chain. And so it's
or
worth
$379.
Yeah, it was 300 something bucks.
And
that isn't a bad deal if you're going to get it for $300 cheaper. I mean, I don't know about the longevity of one. I have not seen one that has been put into use for a long time. This one was brand new and broke the rewind pulley in it. So I don't know. I mean, the engine still looked beautiful. The piston cylinder still looked beautiful. Everything looked fine, and it might have been the way the guy was starting it. I don't know. But everything looked cheaply built. Like it was like, wish.com kind of stuff. It was not, it was like steel, but not. So
it's steel light.
Yeah, I was still FS56 RC that I've always had issues with it starting. Right now it acts like a low compression issue, but cylinder walls and piston look fine. Any ideas? First, you want to check your exhaust. That's the first thing to check on all of those steels, because they do have very tight screens on the exhaust that will clog up if you're running it real low. I made a video about this. If you're running them at half throttle, which a lot of people do around flower beds and windows and stuff like that, instead of running them full throttle, the exhaust will clog up. No, this is not a bad thing. I made a video about the steel oil. This is not necessarily a bad thing about steel oil. It just happens more frequently with the steel oil than it does with any other oil. So if your exhaust screen is cleaned and you know your fuel's okay, the next thing to do is, go into the carburetor. So I'm not sure on that. So.
Like low compression.
Hey, wise guy, what's up? Oh, you get a wise guy's in the house. He's my buddy.
No, I don't know. Okay,
he's my cop friend.
Yeah. Oh, you have a cop friend.
That's right. Yeah. It's nice to have cop friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the cop.
Yeah. What was that movie, Wayne's World?
No, that was Super Troopers.
Super Troopers, yeah.
I've got a cop friend, though. I've got actually several cop friends.
Yeah.
My daddy was a cop.
Yeah.
But y'all, let me see. I guess it's about time to wrap up, isn't it? We've been on for almost 2 hours.
An hour 52. We got 148 in the house. Any more questions before we head out? We got about 8 more minutes. And then we got to go to bed because we went to bed pretty early last night.
Yeah. But we also have to, I don't understand why you can't have second Sunday. Why do we only have one Sunday in the week? Why can't it be Friday, it's okay. Then Saturday's great. Sunday's great. Then we need second Sunday and then Tuesday. I'm all for second Sunday.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how we could have half our staff get off on Friday and then Ron and I get off on Monday.
We used to do that during the
we're fixing
winter.
to do it. As soon as it gets cold, real cold, we're going to let them off on Friday and we'll be off on Monday. And that way we can have a 3-day weekend until the end of February. What is too small for CD for using a blade on a brush cutter? I have a 129 RJ. What is too small a clearance diameter?
Well, it depends on what blade you're using. It really isn't a matter of the machine. It depends.
I don't even know what a 129. Let me see. What is that? Let me see how many cc's of power that has.
Okay. I mean, the 225 Echo is a 21 cc, and it'll carry a blade.
Up to 8-inch. I wouldn't go any higher than an 8-inch.
No, I mean, I wouldn't go any higher than an 8-inch, but It'll carry a blade, and if you have,
Okay, it looks like it's a 25.4. Well, maybe no, 28 cc.
oh, that's a big one. Yeah,
That's a big one.
yeah, you can carry any blade you really want
Yep.
on that. So
Cut it
I
up.
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big trimmer.
Yeah, 28 cc's. That's gonna push a good blade. You can get a 9-inch on that.
See you later, Brett. Have a good one, bud.
Thank you. See you next time. 2 weeks. Be here. Be square.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I guess we're gonna go. It's
Yeah.
you know, Halloween's over, and we didn't do anything again.
But we were here.
So,
No,
yeah, we
this
were
is
here. Yeah, this was
this
something.
is our party.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank y'all for partying with us on Halloween.
Yeah.
Hope
And
everybody
hanging
had a
out
great
with us.
night. And don't forget, people that did answer the question correctly, even though there was supposed to be one, but I chose 3. What am I doing? What am I doing?
You didn't even write them down who it was.
They better email me because I
Yeah,
did forget
email her
to do that.
because she doesn't even know who you are. So you could be random
I remember
person email her
John
saying,
Egan
"Oh, I won."
and Larry Keener and one more. I forgot. But
And we'll look for a special guest over the next couple.
yeah.
We'll get somebody in here. Somebody wants to hang out with us, but anyway, until next time,
Peace.
y'all remember, the king loves you. Good night, y'all. Long live the king.